I've been doing a fair amount of work with quantum economics based out of Israel, and a lot of what we're looking at is like how is the market shifting. One of the big things I'm seeing is that you're seeing increasing extraction with gold from the African perspective, from the Canadian perspective. I mean, we were just talking about this. Idaho, surprising to me, has a tremendous amount of gold because I didn't think the gold rush went that far west, or sorry, east, I should say, really, in that respect. But we're seeing a large amount of mining activity rising up again. We're also seeing a lot of funding for mining activities ramping up inside of the South African arena. And I think that stems all the way through Central Africa because there's a lot of extraction that was ongoing before. The weird stuff is that there's a lot of earth filtering to get to this gold. So as opposed to what had been done before, it's basically the equivalent of like panning, but you're doing it with these large sheaf machines that are running tons and tons and tons of this material through just to find the gold particulate, and then they're capturing all of that, and they're basically refining it. What's curious about the market is, you're going to see tranches, I think, by Q1 of about 500 to 1,000 pounds of gold being dumped on the market, either in Dubai or London. And I think that what that's going to have is more of a normalizing effect than anything else in terms of stabilizing gold prices. So what we will be looking at is going into 22, potentially a little bit less volatility, right? But then the upside of this is what's going on with silver, what are the correlation with cryptocurrencies, because we've seen a lot of volatility with gold and Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin, like what we talked about previously, Bitcoin's operating between a band, 30 to 60,000 bucks. And the challenge is really, what's going to force it to break out of that band right now. I mean, what are we at, 42, 43? Well, let me check my markets.
In the Bitcoin industry, you never know where you quite are. However, I do know if you follow Twitter, you might think that you're further away from where you previously were than in actuality once you do check
43,059.38, and it moved again because it moves that much. But and it's actually, it's interesting that it's jumping about $30 to $40 at a time on one exchange. Look, there's a lot of opportunity for folks that are doing, margin trading, that can actually profit off of this stuff. I think that the AI bots that are out there are kind of interesting. They're getting into the market, but they're the ones that we're testing, they're doing okay. They're not necessarily dealing the best with this market volatility. Stoic that we were testing out is currently performing at, it's like -2%, but we also fired it up about 2 days ago. Oh no, it's plus 0.36%. So it's actually doing pretty good considering the fact that, you've got what I would call a little bit of market stagnation going on right now. But the big question is like, what are your viewers kind of looking at in terms of the market, and like what are they interested in? Because the gold perspective, I think, is going to be ongoing, that we're going to see more and more activity. The Bitcoin perspective is we're continuing to see large market players move in. At the same time, China was like I hate Bitcoin, because this, I don't know if you saw Bloomberg this morning, but China has basically said no to all cryptos, which is really strange because at the same time, they're still touting their own digital RMB. And, about 2 years ago, they were talking to Starbucks about trying to connect the digital RMB with the Starbucks app. And now this is concerning because a lot of your viewers might not know this, but Starbucks is about the fourth largest bank in the United States, just by the sheer amount of value that's held in their stored value cards.
What's up, everyone? I hope you enjoyed the show. Head on over to GoldSilverBitcoin.com for more content like this, as well as long-form written articles about precious metals, Bitcoin, and other topics. Also, check out our shop where you can get precious metals, storable foods, and all sorts of other cool survival and prep gear as well.